Okay, everyone, I'm completely sorry about that. I have no clue what happened. My Discord froze on me, and in doing so, the stream cut out. So I'm really sorry about that. Uh, yeah, how's everybody doing? So we were talking about the deck builder, Scott.
Yeah. So
So
so here's my thinking. My thinking is, we're gonna get it to where it needs to be there, and whether it's 6 months or a year or a week, not a
hmm
week, but when we get to that point, we're gonna look back and we're gonna be like, man, how did we ever go this long without it? That's the hope, right? It's
yeah.
the same with anything, right? You play on GEMP now and you're like, man, how did we do it beforehand? Or you go to Comlink because you want to look something up and you're like, man, how did we do that beforehand? So this is going to be one of those things. We're going to get there. I appreciate everyone's patience. I know the marketing is looking forward to it. I know the GEMP people are looking forward to it. The Slicer team. So there's
hmm
going to be a lot of benefits to it, and we'll get there.
So is the deck list that you guys are working on, is that going to eventually replace like the deck list when people come to events? Is that going to be replace those, or are they going to have to like print them out beforehand? Is it going to be all online, or
Yeah,
is it just going to
I
be
think in a perfect world, the way it would work is that let's say I have this deck, it's gonna populate the deck, it's gonna lock it, it's gonna then send it electronically in GEMP format, and then
okay?
GEMP is gonna automatically test the decks to make sure they're fixed.
Okay, so then what if we bring a card in that doesn't is not in GEMP? Because I want to say there's still cards that are not printed on GEMP.
Oh, I apologize. So yeah. I'm sorry. I'm thinking two things. I'm thinking of GEMP events. So yeah, the goal is, yeah, it'll lock the deck list. It'll send it to the deck list people at the deck
Mm-hmm.
list email, and we'll have admin access to those decks if they need to do it. So that's the kind of the goal.
Okay.
So let's say you're running an event, you
Mm-hmm.
can go in and verify the deck list. You still have
Okay.
to do many deck checks, but you can't modify it. If you modify it, it would start a new version of the deck, not the version you're using for that event, right? Because you
Mm-hmm.
can deck version one of it, version two, version three, etc. And one of them will be slotted for that event and locked. So that's the hope, right? And then the other option, though, if you do want to print off a deck list, you can do it. If you want to export it in a deck tech format for
Mm-hmm.
an explanation for, something, you can do it that way. But there's going to be a few options, right? Exporting it, for example, one of our hopes is that if you export it for an import to get to import to GEMP,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to put the defensive shields on the deck list. When you export it, it'll automatically put them on there. So
Okay.
we've got some ideas, like every deck list. If you're doing open format, you'll just start with anger fear.
Okay.
You'll
Uh,
have to negatively consent to take it out, for example. If you're doing Premiere to Death Star 2, it'll not have it in there, right?
mm-hmm.
So the concepts and the ideas we have, it's just a matter of building off of it and getting it up to speed. That was the goal. It just wasn't working right though.
Okay. And what if you're like one of these old people who likes to print out like the old formatted print list and then you write it all by yourself? Can you still do that?
Absolutely. Yeah, you could. So that's the goal is, listen, those deck lists will be able to print out a formatted deck list, right?
Okay.
You'll have the boxes checked off, it's V or not. If you're using Java's Prize, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
bring that to the event. I think in a perfect world, nobody's really gonna bring handwritten deck lists. But if you want to, you can do that.
Yeah, because I know there's some players who have ridiculously nice handwriting and they like to show it off to people.
Yes, I know that would be you, I think, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, but you can do that. You can absolutely do that. I think eventually we might get rid of it, but who knows?
mm-hmm.
We'll kind of follow what other games are doing.
Okay, and that makes sense. I mean, while we are capable of doing our own things, games that are, I wouldn't say above the curve, it's kind of nice to follow those games.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's our hope.
And it's always a good hope. So we were talking a little bit beforehand about You went to the storage shed, the mysterious storage unit, and checked
Yeah.
out what's in there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
want to give us a
So,
little bit behind the scenes, like what's going on there?
yeah, and so originally when Decipher lost the license, I believe everything was in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And then it somehow got to Jim Colson in Atlanta. He had kind of set up some storage there, and all the stuff was put there. And a number of years later, we realized that we needed to have a little more access to everything.
Mm-hmm.
What we did is we enlisted the help of Greg Shaw and Chris Goglin. And what they did is they worked their full day. They flew down to Atlanta. They got a U-Haul uh, that actually it was already gotten, and the truck was filled with the help of a group of guys down there, and we'll talk about it in more detail. And then they drove up to the storage unit,
Mm-hmm.
and a group of people up here, and we unloaded everything. And in the years since then, right, there were old boxes. We basically replaced all the boxes. We kind of kept everything safe and from free from water and all that. So, like the other day, we had to go get some uncut sheets for the donation rewards, right?
Okay.
And there's about a 5 foot stack of uncut sheets. And the goal is we kind of go in, we get the uncut sheets,
Jesus.
we find the ones we want. It is heavy. It's very heavy. Once you get a few inches into that paper is extremely heavy.
Yeah, it is.
It's extremely heavy. So we kind of go in there and we pull the ones we want. Over the years we've bought collections and we've gotten donations of cards that we use in the store. So those extras are there. We've got the fabled 100,000 packs of uh, Japanese Menace of Darth Maul. So that we would love to be able to give to the community because some of these things we want to give away. Some
Mm-hmm.
of these that we don't sell, we can't sell, and some of the things that we can that we've gotten from we maybe bought that we can resell them, right? Because we have certain things that we can and can't do. But it's nice to know that if we need I remember a couple of years ago we had somebody say, "Hey, I got these young Jedi points. Can I get a foil?" And we were like, "Absolutely, no problem. Here's that foil, Anakin pod racer, right?" And it's nice to be able to get those things out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it's mostly the Star Wars stuff. So if somebody has an issue with a card, we can get them a replacement. We give prize support. We've got cards in there to give out to the events. I know we're kind of thinking of maybe doing some sealed decks at Worlds again.
Okay.
So we got sealed packages of Reflections 1 and Death Star 2 and some boxes that obviously since the pandemic things have gone up in price.
Oh yeah.
Um, but again, we're not going to sell the cards. So these
Mm-hmm.
are things we use for special events, right? Having an OTSD event or having a Jabba's Palace sealed deck event or something like that. We really, if we were to sell them, I don't even know what they're selling for. But
A
the
lot.
goal is community. There are a lot. So our thing is, if you're going to come to an event, we're going to have one of these events. We're not going to charge you more for it. We're going to just have the event, right? And
Mm-hmm.
enjoy, have fun, and that's what it's for. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there. Um, Stuff that I can't even remember is in there, and we do some inventories every couple of years to make sure we know what's going on.
So who does the bulk of this inventory? Is it you? Is it Chris, Jared, a
Yeah,
collection of
so we
people?
did a bunch of it. Yeah, that's a good question. So we did a bunch of it when we pulled it off of the truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we pulled the thing off the truck all those years ago, we basically went through and did that. But we were also trying to be quick because everybody was tired. It was long. The storage unit closed at a certain time, so we basically had to be a little quicker. So over the years, we've inventoried stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
we just have when we have time, we kind of go in there and spend a little time doing section by section.
So so what kind of prize support are we getting? Anything for nationals from the magical storage unit?
Uh, you know, I I believe so. I need to double check, but we are going to have some sealed product, some packs to give away to people. Yes, and we've
Okay.
got foils and rares and stuff. Um, I believe that's all going to be in there. Yes, so it'll be nice to get some different
Hmm.
things, right?
Yeah, and I know people are really. I mean, the prize support has gone from, oh, I get a pack or a random card, to a lot of good stuff. And I
Yeah,
know, I want to say Jerry just got the national pins, and I'm excited to have those, to show off those next weekend. So,
yeah,
and not to spoil anything, because again, they're going to look really nice, and I think people are going to like them. So, yeah, I've heard a bunch of the stories of the storage unit, and I've heard from you and Chris and Greg about their wonderful journey from Atlanta back up to Jersey. So, yeah, it's nice knowing that it's there.
yeah.
But I mean, first of all, it's got to cost the PC a lot of money to have a storage unit each month.
Yeah, I remember it was around $170 a month when we first started. And the price has essentially doubled over the years. But again, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one thing I will tell you about the support, right? So because of Kevin with the foils and the alternate image foils that we send out, and with
Mm-hmm.
you me doing a lot of the pins, the play mats that you designed. These are all cool things that this swag, as we call it, right?
Yeah.
Because only so many people only need cards. So the idea is give them something to open up, give them some swag, and it makes everybody happy. The money that we raise goes to help fund everything, and it goes
Mm-hmm.
back to players, which is important.
Yeah. So speaking of prizes, we were also talking about that you guys are working on new T-shirts. Is this true? Are we getting new T-shirts for nationals?
Yeah, yeah. So usually we print the shirts in house. We have heat presses and we've got the equipment and everything, and we realize that it's something that's a little difficult to do. So we've outsourced it this time around to help speed up the process and make it a little better. So we've got the shirts for nationals. They'll be there Wednesday.
Okay.
That are the um,
Is it the Gin Urso?
is it Gin Urso? Yeah, I'm not sure what the shirts are, but I believe so. And we've got those on its way, so it'll be nice to have those. Uh, I need to check,
Yeah.
but they're on their way. Something's coming.
I love how everything is going to Jerry. His apartment is just going to be full of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be great.
But so, yeah, I'm excited to see those, and I think next week's going to be a lot of fun. So you said that you're not going to be able to go, and
Right. I
I know that you're going to be missed. So, is there any chance we can get
Well,
like
real
a?
quick, if my mother-in-law is listening tonight, I need to make sure she doesn't know about her surprise birthday party.
Well, you just said it.
I don't think my mother-in-law is listening.
Okay, well that's fair and all. So can we get like a call in maybe Saturday or Sunday? Be like, this is like Scott on the phone during commentary.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think I would get divorced really quickly if I did that.
Uh,
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I'll definitely be at Worlds, and I'm hoping to go to events whenever I can. It's just that
mhm.
that's happens to be her 70th birthday party, and it's a big deal.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I know Chris said he might not, but Chris Kelly said he might not be able to go. So uh, I don't think any advocates are actually going to be there.
I'm not sure.
Like
I don't know
currently,
offhand.
but really quick while we're talking about nationals,
Yep.
if you have not signed up, what is wrong with you? There are currently 37 people who are signed up. Looking at the list, we have Matt Lutz, Jason Apollyon, who was on a couple weeks
Yep.
ago, Matt Watt, and Ryan
Yeah.
Saracen, Hayes Hunter, Chris Worf. So glad to see the Seattle guys are coming. Lenny Rubin, and I know Mrs. Lenny Rubin are showing up. Mike Kessling's coming out. Drew Lichtenstein's going. Joe Olson, world champion and MPC winner Joe Olson. Kyle Kruger, David Woods, John McFarland, Justin Miyashiro, Mike Turner, Walsett, Mark Walsett's going. Harpster's going, so he's returning to the game. Clay Atkin also returning to the game. Paul Coggins, Jeffrey Levine, Cal Aldred, Lee Edwards returning to the game. That's a big one. Brian Fred, Dennis Reinhardt, Vinny Rossi, Batmouse is going to be there. Michael Field, Adam Bott, who was my he was the winner of the Dan Pager entrance fee. Adam Bott also going. Matt Sperling, famous Magic player Matt Sperling is going. Bill Kafer, Brad Reinhold, Brendan Romano, Vic Rumbali, Casey Johnson, Lori Lauer, and Danny Lamar. So yeah, right now we got 37 people. That doesn't include Jerry and myself. We'll be doing commentary. So if you haven't signed up, what is wrong with you? And then also checking on the event details. Again, it is going to start on Friday with the team event. Bill Kafer is going to be doing that. Then we have the main event starting at 10 a.m. Streaming will start a few minutes early. We'll probably start the streaming about 9:45 that morning, and then it's going to be 8 games. Then the next morning, the top 8 starts again at 10 o'clock. Again, streaming will start about 9:45, and again, the Constellation Tournament will be going on at the same time. And I know we're just talking about prizes, so right now, it is Jin Ursa, so you'll get a alternate image of the Jin. Exclusive, the Game Awakens V-Set 15 alternate image card. Pins, foil, tournament foil winners. That will be the Jakku Rays Encampment and the Hoth Ice Plains V. Obviously, glass, mugs, team tournament foils. And then we have playmats, t-shirts, mugs, and virtual sheets. And then Jeffrey Johns is also supplying us with some of his artwork as well.
Yep. So I know we did just order some new mugs that have some different things on them. We've been doing some different things. You got the team mugs for the team tournament, and then we have some coffee mugs that have some Jin Urso related sayings on them. So that's really cool. That's a cool idea that we did for the NPC. We're doing it again.
So we have a question in the chat. Is there a cash prize? Because there was nothing posted about it.
I don't know. I believe yes, there will be. There always is for these events. So I will make sure that we clarify that and get that information out there.
And then as well, if you check out the national thread, there's a lot of information, a lot of good stuff. Sam Tashimi again posted a nice article on attending a major as a NARP, or a new and returning player. Looking at seeing when people come in, you can always check the flight information. And then if you're looking to borrow cards, I posted something about if you need to borrow cards, letting me know and letting other players who come in know. And then again, just some other stuff that people, just commenting on as well. So it is going to be an extremely fun event. So again, I'm really sorry that Scott's not going to be there, but family comes. It's all about family.
Yeah, it's like what's it, the Vin Diesel memes.
Yep, there you go.
So here's what I'll do. Kendall posted that great family. Was it it could be worse, or this is just wrong?
Yeah, in the memes.
Yeah. So here's what I'll tell you. I will tell you, for the newer players or the people, I remember a great story with, last time I talked to Lee, he was texting me asking me if I was going, but it's great to see Lee and some of these players having fun. But events like this are just a great time, right? I always tell people, I don't talk to anybody I went to college with. I don't miss anybody. It's all good. I said, you guys are I get more enjoyment seeing you guys, and I have some great memories. Even when I remember we played Cards Against Humanity for the first time and only time I've ever played in my life, and it was hilarious. Playing Galactica, playing Secret Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I remember playing all these different games, with Reed and with all you guys. It's just a lot of fun, and I enjoy the playing as well. I want to be competitive, but in the nights, it's great to be able to go to a baseball game or be able to
Yep.
hang out, just hang out with everybody, and that's what it's about. And there's a reason why, um, when people travel, they want to kind of see each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know I
And
got a tip from Jeremy today because when I was in Disney World, I didn't get a chance to see him. I didn't really have much time, so next time I'm down there, it'll be nice to see Jeremy. You know,
mm-hmm. And it's funny that you mentioned the meme by Kendall because there it is. For anyone who hasn't seen it,
Emily,
family. But yeah, it's going
that's
to be
great.
so. Being that you've been to so many
Great.
of these major events, Scott, what do you have? Let's get some Scott wisdom out on there for
Yeah.
anybody who's going to their first major event.
So I definitely think having your deck ahead of time because I remember before one of the NPCs, I was like, oh, this card or this card, this card or this card.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so distraught that I actually had another deck error where I didn't, not a deck error, but I didn't have the right card in. But I was so stressed at making sure everything was done and making
Mm-hmm.
else, I completely missed it. I think the trick though is um, eat some breakfast, try and have your decks ready to go so you don't have to stress about it at all. Um, do you know the brownie story?
No,
Okay,
maybe I don't know.
so there's this great brownie story. So Stephen Lewis and Clint Hayes, um, back when they were playing in Tennessee, I think this was '98 Gen Con or
Mm-hmm.
'98 Origins, something like that. And Clint won the event, and he was telling a young Brian Fred, "Hey, we went to Denny's, we got a brownie, and that brownie gave us good luck." And Brian Fred was like, "Well, I'm going to do that from now on." And so he went to Denny's. He's like, "Hey, I'd like a brownie." And they're like, "We don't sell brownies here." And he was like, "What the heck? I'm supposed to have. What do you mean you don't sell brownies? I know a friend that bought brownies here." Turns out it was the chocolate cake, but they never called it the chocolate cake. They just called it a brownie. And Brian Fred was like, "Hey, I want a brownie," and they're like, "Sorry, we don't sell them." But it's stories like that brownie story sticks with me, right? Or
Yeah.
I'll never forget a story that somebody told me. It's like a myth at this point. Gabe Alonso was driving his wife to the hospital. He was about to have a baby, and he was at a light, and he's just really in deep thought. And the wife's like, "Honey, we're gonna be okay. Are you all right?" And he's like, "Lateral damage. How do you beat that card?" So, I have no idea if that's a true story at this point, but I mean, these are moments that happen, and even newer ones, right? There's stories like this all the time. So I'd say enjoy it because when you're at these events, there's going to be moments like that, or moments where you oversleep, and you're running down there, and things are going to be okay. So just enjoy these moments. Um, while you can, because it's just great to get together for these things and
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree. I
Oh,
will
there's
say,
someone brought up the Max Rebo in the Chipotle burrito.
yeah, that was classic. I want to say that was what the NPC a couple years ago.
Yeah, yeah, up in
Yeah,
New Brunswick.
and I know it's still out there. I forget who has it. So we'll have to let all the new people know what the Max Rebo is. Uh, it's a. I know there's a Max Rebo that was part of. I can't think of his name right now, and that's it's going to bother me.
I have a Max Rebo I got from Jerry for Christmas. It's on my board over there.
Okay, now that's nice. Uh,
My
n-
wife had to get it out of the package because I was expecting it.
was she wondering what it was?
No, I just told her it's kind of like keep away, right? You can't touch it. So it's got cooties.
Yeah, well, I
No.
mean, the official one now was part of John Anderson's collection, and I want to say it has the stamp on it. So while it's keep away, I feel like that one has like some honor to it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Someone saying Kevin Shannon might have it, so either
Well,
or the burrito. But I mean, that's a good thing.
it is.
Uh, I don't know where the Max Rebo started. I'd love to hear that
Yeah,
story. Bring somebody on to tell it.
yeah. I have no idea. I don't know if I'm one. Like I remember the Ohio guys, Team Ohio. I don't know if they started it, but it sounds like a Brian Fred thing to me. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, great idea. If he can,
Yeah.
if he could tell us, that would be awesome.
So I know Scott was saying this about games and everything. I know I'm planning on bringing my laptop with the jack box as well as my Switch. So if anybody has like a projector or like a in Colorado or like a bigger TV, let us know. That would be great. Maybe we'll rent one for the weekend.
A projector it's a smaller one that might work. If you need it, I'll send it to you.
Oh, I mean, I don't want to bogart your projector for the weekend.
No, it's just sitting there. I haven't used it since I got it a year ago.
Okay.
It was
Yeah, we'll talk. But yeah,
yeah,
I know a lot of people are bringing games. Worfs is always doing that. So,
yeah.
but
Could be
yeah,
worse.
it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun weekend. But really quick, let's go down some our normal business. The
Yep.
Jawa Boonta Eve Brawl, the San Carlos Summer is still going on. Dr. Alec is currently in first, and Timo
Wow.
Dusel is in second by percentage points. But they got to
Ooh.
watch out because Joe Olson is sitting there at 10-0. So everybody be wary of Joe. Outside of that, I mean, there's nobody who is undefeated until you get it down here at number 30th. This guy who is 3-0, Dieter Tag 1. So,
Nice.
yeah, there's.
And enough, maybe you'd win.
Yeah, I haven't been playing. I've been playing other games.
Yeah.
So, but we'll
Well, I
see.
know some of the cool things or the history of the game formats, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, saying yeah, like all the stuff that's going on Gemp is amazing.
Yes.
Okay, and
Yeah.
then
Bastion is 8-2, so he has a chance of at least tying as well.
oh
So
yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, because I was looking for anybody who's like
Mouse,
within striking range. Batmouse
Fat
current,
Mouse is 7-2,
yeah, Batmouse
got a
has a chance
chance,
too.
and Silver Glen is 4-1. So there's some other people.
Yep.
Nobody is as good a spot as Dan though.
So moving on to the OCS. Currently, we have 8 players who are qualified for the OCS: Paul Myers, Bastion, Matt Harrison, trainer, Timo Dusel, Justin Desai, Joe Olson, Gavin Oterlund, Charlie Arlinson, and Brian Fred. So, though, and it's funny because they are in order of their seeds. So Paul Myers is in first, Bastion, and then so forth.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it in August. That's my goal.
I want to see you make it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, so moving on, let's go into swing and a miss. I got 4 questions tonight. It's all about nationals and the possibility of some decks. So we'll go through
Yep.
those and then we'll move on to some other stuff. So first question of the night: the new Rescue the Princess Virtual will be played by at least 3 people on Saturday.
I think it's a hit. I love that deck. I played against it for the first time, and I'll tell you some of the cool stuff about if you don't battle, you get to retrieve a force. I just love the interactiveness of that deck, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, at me or else I'm going to get a benefit from it. So I think we are going to see that. It's a hit.
Uh, I'm going to say miss, and the reason is I think people uh, at this point, and I'm going to agree with. I want to say Chris Kelly said this last week, where it's not a tier 1 deck yet. I mean, yeah, it's a fun deck, but it doesn't have what it needs to compete with like map, court. Like right now, I haven't really seen a good space package put together. So you're essentially in a one theater arena, and decks that are just in one theaters don't do well. So until it has like a set dark side or a space package, I don't know. Like I can see it not being as strong as people want it to be.
Yeah, the version I saw was the blasters go and use, draw their fire, aim high.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I can't believe he's gone. I just think that you won't need to worry about space if you are constantly going at him, doing direct damage with the blasters, then sending him use. It reminds me of the assassin deck, right? It just seems like a really fun deck, and that doesn't play any space. I'm sure you can float something for that late game. Remember
Mm-hmm.
Cornhorn or something like that, or the Brian Twiggs card, Anakin, Bravo fighter with landing claw or something. I just don't. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on to question number 2. Shadow Collective is a tier 1 deck.
Oh man, I love to see that deck in Chris Westergaard's hands. I don't think it's tier
Same.
one. It is good. It is really good.
So I'm gonna say miss on this one. I like watching Chris
Yeah.
Westergaard with it. Like that man is so surgical with it. Mike Turner built a really good and fun one that I have been playing a little bit on Gemp. It plays Gaul, so you play uh, the You Can't Hide Forever combo. You go fetch Gaul, and then you go get like combat response or inconsequential losses, and then you put as like you put Baston's Legacy with I can't think of the Ochi on there. So
Okay.
you get a little bit of deck manipulation with that. Then you put Guri with the Singer, and you're using the virtual Guri, so that way you get some card draw at their well. And then you've got like Boba Fett and his ship, Django and the ship as well, so you can get multiple destinies that go. And you really just sit there because then on the ground, if you hit with any of your blasters, it's Doctor E combo on something like it's not on a character. So as long as you're hitting with your blasters, and again in this deck, you're pretty much going to be hitting with your blasters. Their characters are going lost.
Wow. Yeah. And if you have more than one weapon, it's once per turn, once per battle.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool idea. I know I did lose to something like that. I did not expect it,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, and that way you don't have to worry about Doctor E, especially because he's a smuggler. So they're playing the interrupt that you can cancel his game text, things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a great idea. I don't think it's tier one, and the reason why is it's just not balanced enough.
Yeah.
I think certain decks can avoid it. So I think it's a miss, but man, if you play the right matchup, it's over.
Yeah, I agree. And don't get me wrong, I see a lot of people playing it in the Jawa format right now. And I think it's really strong in the Jawa format. But again, there are other light side options that are tier 1.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it after maybe like one or two more cards. But I will say that this Maul is stupid in that deck. Maul is just stupid regardless.
So spoiler alert, I'm in Clone Wars, I'm watching it. It comes back to life.
No.
Yeah, so I'm he's pretty good though. So I don't know where it's gonna go with it, but we'll see. But yeah, he is obviously
Yeah.
strong. And that's the trick, right? Some deck, obviously Mace is just Mace. He's really going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the manipulation aspect of Maul. Um, I like it. It's obviously very good, but you're giving up the best character in the game to have him. So it's definitely a miss in this situation. Um, I'd love to see Pin Down if that's used in any of these. Because remember, think about Dodge and
Mm-hmm.
Black Kid and stuff. I'm curious, Pin Down, where you react away from a battle. I think Dodge is the biggest one. you draw Destiny and make them lose that much force. So
Huh.
with these weapon decks, I'd love to see them add that card in there. I don't know if it's feasible, but it's a neat way to
Yeah.
get a little damage in certain matchups.
Okay, let's go into question number 3. So, using Let the Wookiee Win is the best platform for light side mains.
What do you think?
So, I know Chris Kelly's going to say miss because he's going to say Hitco. I'm going to say it's a hit. And my reasoning on this is you can play Chief Trooper's Hut to get Like My Father Before Me. So, you can use Luke around that. You can easily get the home one out, or even Han chewing the Falcon. And the thing is, unlike Hitco, you're not limited to your character base. So you could run Qui-Gon with sabers. You can run General Kenobi. You can run your Rey with sabers if you want, or your Rey. You can run Padme, who's, from what I hear, really good against Darth Vader. So
Yeah.
you have all that. Now I know people are thinking, oh well, there's Tig as well. I don't. To me, I don't see Tig as like a set light side mains. It's more of like a hit and run type of a deck. Like it reminds me of like you're only running Luke, and you basically want him to get captured. So you're on your 7 side, pinging your opponent, unless he's with Vader, each turn, or you're running EPPs. That's it. So I think with like this setup in particular, because you have access to all the things that you need, I don't know. Let the Wookiee Win seems really strong.
So here's what I'm thinking. I like it, and I'm gonna go with yes. And here's why. I think of the versatility. I love the idea of Shmi's Hut. You go get Shmi, you get 3PO, you play the
Mm-hmm.
uh, one of the Kashyyyk sites for the extra activation, and you pull the farm, and then you can just move Shmi over, back her up with whoever you need.
Yeah.
And I'd like it a lot, and I think that with you play maybe the site that they need ability 6, so it's a little risky to go down to that Kashyyyk site.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you drain it too, but I think there's some different options. I
Yeah.
like it. I'm going to go with a hit, and the reason why, I just think of the versatility. There's going to be so many decks that it can give you a mains platform that's going to be
Yeah.
fantastic.
And the thing is, unlike Tig, where you're not relying on your opponent to have a system for you to go to satisfy battle plan, you can have a system with this one and satisfy battle plan on your own, and you don't have to worry about paying for 3. So
Yeah,
and like, and the other thing is with Tig, you have to go to their locations to fight them to satisfy for like Coward. So even if you're playing Draw Their Fire, well, you're doing. I mean, yeah, you could do 1 damage to them, but you still want to be retrieving a little bit as light side. So again, I like the so many options with this platform. I think it's really good.
I really like the idea of starting Kashyyyk the system as well.
Mm-hmm.
Chewie and your smugglers deploy -2 there. So if you're using squadron assignments, it gets you a cheaper way to go down to the system. I really like it. I really like it. You pull the
Yeah.
Falcon, you get some matching pilots on there, and deploy -2 for a bunch of smugglers is really good.
Oh yeah, and like you run like any of your smugglers, you could run Captain Han and the Falcon and make them really cheap. You can run
Yeah,
you can run Han Solo with blaster pistol, put Luke up in space, and oh, I got 2 Destiny right there.
yeah, yeah. I really like that. I also like, yeah. I mean, listen, the sky's the limit, right? We'll see where
Mm-hmm.
things go. But I do like that idea, giving you battle plan right off the start. You pull the farm. This obviously restricts you a little bit what you're going to do, but I love the open endedness of it.
Well, I mean, yeah, and with the farm, you can run. I must be allowed to speak, so you can start searching your use pile, which is a ridiculously good mechanic in the game. And yeah, like you said, there's so much versatility to this deck, and I really like decks like that. I like the open endedness to a deck instead of just, oh, there's so much. You got to build it this way.
Yeah. Um, so I listen. I say it's a hit because of how many open endedness. Someone's going to find one that's really going to be good for them, especially this
Mm-hmm.
weekend
I
or next
agree.
weekend.
And on to our last question of the night. Scum and Villainy decks will be the most played decks on Saturday. Most decks played on Saturday is for Dark Side.
I'm going to say a miss. I think that people are going to want to lean into it, but it reminds me of when everybody was playing Agents of the Black Sun, and it was like everyone was playing Prophet, everyone was playing Agents of the Black Sun, and so many people were tweaking to that.
Yeah.
I just people are going to be afraid. I specifically have seen Reflections 3 Leia, even with all the tricks you have, if you're playing mains and toys and you're removing through Clash or through Sorry About the Mess, some of the answers of a droid or whatever, you're still gonna run out of guys that can stop Leia, and you're just gonna crumble.
Uh,
I don't think people are gonna do it.
I think Darkseid has so many options right now, and I think you're going to see Hunt Down. I think you're going to see Map. I think you're going to see Shadow Collective. I still think you're going to see Scum, whether that's Court or CCT. Notice I said Scum and Villainy, not Court or CCT. So, and I think being that there's two strong platforms for Scum and Villainy decks to go onto, I think you could. I think it's going to be the most played platform. So
You think so?
yeah,
With Scum? Okay.
yeah, I'm thinking CCT is really good. Like it might have some issues with Tig, but it's still really good. Put Court in the right hands. I think it's really good. Now, here's my thing though. Looking at 37 people who are registered, I don't see anybody really playing Court. So again, I could be wrong there, but I can see like, I'm going to go with Miss. I am going to go with Miss. I'm going to change my thing. I talked myself out of it. I'm going to go with Miss.
And listen, we're both going to be wrong, and everyone's going to be playing Scum.
Yeah, right? Like, Joe Olson's going to bring this crazy Scum deck, and it's just going to womp on people. Hayes is going to build a crazy Scum deck. Like, it's... Now, I think there are a lot of options for Darkseid. Map, Shadow Collective, Agents of the Black Sun, CCT, Scum, Hunt Down, Rops is being played a lot now too. Set Your Course for Alderaan is another one. I know Kyle Krieger likes that deck. So I think Darkseid has a lot of potential. It is going to be interesting to see what those decks are. So I think we're going to see like at most maybe 4 copies of one deck.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I know. I don't know what we're going to see, but I just feel Scum is going to be tweaked, or not tweaked. It's going to be teched against too much, and I think that's going to lead to problems.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all we got for Swing and a Miss tonight. Really quick, let's go into our deck building challenge. So I know I haven't been posted this onto the forums, and I'm really sorry about that. I completely forgot after last week's show. Again, this month's deck building challenge is all Rescue the Princess themed. So you got to win a game in any format, Jawa, Open, anything that's a major league. You got to win with Rescue the Princess while the Falcon is at the docking bay, and Leia, Han, Chewie, and Luke are on the table at one time. So as long as the Falcon is at the docking bay and the 4 characters are on the table at the same time and you win, you win. So just make sure you post a screenshot of all of those requirements and you win the prize.
That is really cool.
And if you're wondering what the prize is, again, we are now giving out the Holotheatre Heroes packs. I am still working on creating the packs. I'm half the way done. Scott owes me some stuff. Same with Chris Kelly. So as soon as they get me those packs will be finished. And after Nationals, I'll start getting those out to people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what people think of these. And I think it's going to... Hopefully it's well received. So...
It will be.
Okay, Scott, I got one last thing for you.
Sure.
You ready to do your lore challenge?
Oh, man, let's do it. Okay, I use my lightsaber to help give me support.
Okay. So, again, I'm going to read the lore to you, and then you get to decide if you want the set or the type of card.
Okay.
Okay, so your lore challenge is not that one. Oh, everything reset. So give me 1 second.
Take your time.
Everything reset when the companion. Okay, your lore challenge is occasionally Han was capable of such feats, even without 3PO there to tell him these things. Would you like to set? Occasionally Han was capable of such feats, even without 3PO there to tell him these things.
Oh man.
Would you like the set or the type of card?
Give me the set.
Dagobah.
So I'm thinking. So originally I was thinking it was main course. And
Okay.
it's obviously not that. Because I was hoping you'd say Endor, in which case I was going to do that. All right. So, no, Smuggler's Blues is not it. Oh, man. What was the first word in that lore?
Occasionally.
Occasionally. Oh, man.
I'm just going to say this really loud. I'm just going to say this really for 1 second. Joker King, you're wrong. He said 3,720 to 1.
720 to 1, no. Never tell me the odds. No.
It's a light side card.
Yeah, that's never tell me the odds, isn't it? Or is that 3,720 to 1? Yeah, that's 3,721. All right. I don't know. The only thing I can think is the professor.
Nope.
No. What is it?
It is.
Wait. Give me one more hint. Maybe what card type is it?
I will say, I will give you this one. Effect. It doesn't help. Remember, Dagobah doesn't have that much to it.
It's not the professor. It's not anger, fear, aggression. It's not. I'll
give you one more. I'll give you one more. It does not currently have a V card.
What is the future? Let's see. Gosh, I can't think of what all the Dagobah effects are. War's not making. No, wouldn't be that. Wouldn't be Yoda's hope. It wouldn't be. Dismantle Insight's the wrong. I have no idea. I can't think of it.
The card is Flash of Insight.
Oh crap! That was so obvious.
Was it though?
I know, but yes. I mean, yeah. That makes sense. I would have not gotten that. Darn. I was thinking Han and 3PO, and the only thing I could think of was the scene where he's levitating while Han's being tied up.
Oh, in Return of the Jedi. Well, as soon as I said so I was going to say, as soon as I said Dagobah,
I just couldn't think of anything where they were together other than like Smuggler's Blues or the Professor.
Well, you were close because they were in the space slug.
Yeah. That was the thing. Now, Flash of Insight. But I kept thinking, take the Professor in the back and plug him into the hyperdrive.
Well,
that's a really good one.
Well, next week, hopefully we have somebody who gets it because
we're not good.
I mean, Chris Kelly's the only one who, like the advocate, who he knows his cards. Granted, I gave him a super softball one last week.
Yeah, what's the one that's like
The
Wookiee Roar?
No, that's the one from Cloud City. It is Wookiee Roar. That's from Hoth. It's an interrupt, and I was thinking of the Dark Side one. Your little prison manipulation one with the interrogation array.
So also we got the prize amounts for nationals. I
Okay.
just posted into the chat, but that information will we'll get that up.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that is all we have for this week, everybody. Again, I want to thank Scott for coming on, and I'm glad to have you back after your trip to Disneyland, or sorry, Disney World.
Yes.
And you know what? You might have one. I also have one.
Do you?
Oh, it's nobody's. It's just like a. It's not a custom one like yours. Like yours is Leia's. Mine is just
Yeah.
my own. But eventually, I'm gonna
No,
get.
that's cool. I
Eventually, I'm gonna
like
get
the
one.
custom ones. I couldn't do that, but I really like the Leia's one. It's so unique.
Yeah. Oh no, it looks really nice. Okay.
Hopefully, we can get a card with it, and we can use that image.
I mean, you know what? I have the dice from Solo,
Oh, sweet.
so we should get that as a all AI for Han's dice.
I think we should. I love that idea. And listen, um, looking back at Solo, it was kind of like, why do I need to know what his dice were, right? But
Yeah.
it was a cool story to see at the end of the Last Jedi, I think it was.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I still prefer the fuzzy dice, but come on.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, everyone. Well, that's all. That's all we got for this evening. As always, we'll have more Holotheatre next week with more. We're going to talk a little bit more about nationals. We'll see what the public thinks and like who's going to actually win the event. So again, if you're thinking about going, go. It's going to be an amazing weekend. And until next week, I'll see everybody then. And so good night and take care.
Thank you.